Just pull off this plastic piece. You know, there's those plastic rivets in there, or not rivets, but fittings. Once that's out the way, you got 2 bolts on either side here for this core support. Then you got one here, another one right below it. That's it. And then the core support will come loose and we can just swing it out the way. It's really not that complicated. Once this thing is out, the radiator just comes right out. The reason I'm not doing the intake manifold is because there's 5 bolts that hold the intake manifold in, or the plenum in here, and it'll all come out. Once you do that, you disturb the gaskets. You got to get everything torqued down properly, or you might mess something up. If it's your own vehicle, then do it that way. But you only take out 5 bolts and remove the whole thing. But I'm telling you now, if you don't know how to relearn your throttle body, then you may not want to do that, or disconnect the throttle body. But whatever you do, do not disconnect the connector of the throttle body if you don't want to go through a relearn procedure. If you don't have the tool to do it, I wouldn't mess with it, because there's a manual way to do it, and then you may not get it right. No matter what you do, make sure you disconnect the battery and leave it disconnected for a minute or so if you have to disconnect the throttle body. I don't know if that's going to prevent it from that relearn procedure, but you can do it manually. But that's why I'm avoiding this, because I'm avoiding the gaskets and I'm avoiding the relearn procedure. Core support's loose. But anyways, you got to disconnect this horn so you can swing this whole thing out the way. Once we got this out of the way, this is what I was talking about here. Now, you know, you can take this piece off here. This is 2 screws here holding it, and it's kind of rigid and in the way, and it's up against this other plastic piece. Now the radiator is completely, all I gotta do is pick it up and move it, and we're gonna have all kinds of extra room back there. I don't see any way around opening the radiator. So since I have to do that, so you see I got it out of place. You know, when I start to lean it back, it's kind of rigid against this condenser. So there's 2 bolts in it, one here and another one here. I think those are just 10s. We're going to pop those out. Then lift this up out of the radiator, and as long as it's disconnected from the hose down there and this hose right here, disconnect our connector, this whole unit, you just sit it up out of the way. Radiator's draining. While I'm waiting for it to drain, I pulled this clamp back here, and I thought I might show you here my tools, my special tools that I use for all these clamps. No matter where we got to get this hose loose. Now if you had a hose that is stuck on there, you know, people tell you to use those tools where you get in there and you break it loose. You know, the old school method is to twist it. You just twist it, and once it breaks, it'll pop off. So this one, because it's twisted, that's why I twisted it, now it'll come off. And it's out. So here it is. There's your connector for the fan. Other than that, you got a hose, and it just sits in there. The core support is what keeps it in place. So once that's out the way, it's ready to be taken out, with the exception of the hoses being connected, fan being connected. I need you to get a little view of what I'm doing here. Look, I already got the top bolt out. Can you see it there, finger? Yep, there's the other bolt. So to get that one, I just use this 3/8 ratchet and a socket, 18mm socket, and a 3-inch extension. Never mind what else you see up here. All I used was that 3-inch extension for the top one, and used this 3/8 ratchet and the socket for the bottom one. Remember, anytime you add an extension, it starts to lose torque. And she's loose. I didn't take no sensors off, no extra nothing. All I did was that radiator. You got real quick and easy access. I already broke these loose, so I just wanted to show you before I pulled it all the way out how quick and easy this is going to go back in.